Hey guys, good morning. We're at Nin's house picking up some sand. She built a sandbox for the girls in her backyard. She's so awesome. And she had a few bags left over. Hi! Oh no ma'am, no ma'am. Why are you screaming? So we're here to pick it up. The girls are running around her front yard. There's her garage is open. They have on some new masks. The things that make us happy nowadays. Emmy has Star Wars and the little girls have floral. They're so cute. So we're gonna pick up that sand and then head about our day, huh, Fitty girl? Hi, Fitty girl. Hi. Are you too cute? Say here, buddy. I like to scream nowadays. It's so much fun and it drives Mom crazy, huh? Yeah. You see yourself? Say hi. Hey.
Can I get in it?
That is super cool.
Can I get in it, Mommy?
You painted it and everything then?
Yes.
Looks good.
I ran out of paint though, so I ordered some more. I haven't had a chance. I probably won't get around to painting that till Saturday.
And this roof is
Don't take off your shoes yet.
from Mom's carport, right?
Yes.
So creative.
Yes.
Can I get in now? Do we need shoes on or off?
Whatever
Off.
you want.
Okay.
Put off, Mom. So
Yeah, let's do shoes up.
But what about autumn shoes?
Wow. Take your shoes off, Mama, and your socks.
Ooh, I wonder if we can make sand castles in it. I feel
Cool.
like it's sand.
and Mommy's gonna bring some more. But
Oh my gosh. Whew. Masks in the summer is torture, and it's 11 in the morning and it's already like probably 80 something degrees outside. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Everly and I are headed back home to hang out for a little while. The girls are gonna play outside for a few hours at Nin's house. I know, Mama, you're done. You're like, take me home. Let's go. And so, yay, that's super exciting. I left masks with them. Nin had her masks on. They should be fine. We're all quarantined. Got to get back to real life. I had told my mom they could spend the night at her house after like quarantine and everything is over, but we're gonna be off orders tomorrow. So, you know what? I'm just gonna take a little bit of a break. And I know Nin will take, not that she wouldn't have taken good care of them anyway, but I know Nin will follow the rules I've set in place. I told the girls, I said, you need to wear a mask. If you're not outside, you need to wear a mask. You go potty, you need to wear a mask. So she's gonna have them play outside for a few hours. I'm gonna go home and relax and watch a show. And Everly and I are just gonna hang out until we have to come pick them up in a few hours. Do you hear that? It's nothing. There's nothing here. No noise. That recessed lighting. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how much of a difference that lighting makes? No noise. Well, you hear the white noise machine because Everly's taking a nap. And Everly's still here. But the big girls are out running their energy in Nin's backyard. The whole time we've been in quarantine, the only thing I truly wanted was to be able to spend time with family and to give something for the girls to do. That's really the only two things that I've ever wanted. I mean, of course I want this whole thing to go away. I want our lives to return to normal, whatever that means nowadays. But in the grand scheme of things, I really just wanted to be with my family. And that's really the end of it. I want all of us to be healthy and safe, and I want to be with my family. And so I hung out with Nin for a little while, and she really wanted to keep the girls. And I told her, I was like, I don't know, you know, if my grandma's calling. Always answer the call from your family. My grandma, she's so cute. She watches the vlogs, and she was like, when are you going to Costco? I said, probably not till next week. I don't know. I need to go. I don't want to, I was going to try and go like Friday before Andres went to work, today before Andres went to work, but then we ended up going to pick up the sandbags from Nin, and it just didn't work out that way. And so I'm maybe Wednesday, because next Saturday we're doing a family barbecue at Nin's house, social distancing style, but still we're gonna do it. So I'm super excited for all the family to get together, and they're gonna have so much fun. Nin has her backyard set up like amazing. She built this huge sandbox I showed you guys for the girls. Well, not just for the girls, for all the kids. It just so happens that the girls were there today, but she has monkey bars that she didn't want me to show yet because they're not done. Monkey bars and what does she call it? A rope swing, like where you sit on the disc. A disc swing is what it's called. And then she has monkey bars, but the triangle kind that hang down. And she said that she bought a seesaw, or maybe she didn't buy it yet, or maybe she bought it and hasn't put up, I'm not sure. A seesaw and a merry-go-round. She's so amazing. Everybody needs a Nin in their life. Seriously, she's the best aunt. And she never had any kids, so my brother and I got spoiled rotten by her. She had built us a sandbox at one of her houses as well when we were young, and so she always wanted to build a sandbox for the kids, and she did. She made that dream come true when she bought her house. It's crazy. So she did so good. She even told them today, I was like, yeah, I told the girls, I said, did you know Mommy and Chubby had a sandbox when we were young too? And Nin's like, yeah, it wasn't nearly as nice as this. It was just 4 posts and a bunch of sand. She didn't have a cover or anything on it. We were wild back then. Now she's a lot more conscious of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it has she just built it up so nice. She even painted it like crazy. She held on to wood from our old deck for years. We got rid of that thing years ago, and she's amazing. So anyway, my grandma, she's so cute. I was like, probably later this week, she's like, well, could I ask you if you could put a couple things on the list for me? I'm like, of course, Grandma. Her and her friend Ralph they're older. You know, my grandma's gonna be 80 in a month, and sorry, my allergies are acting up today. I've been sneezing on and off, but she's gonna be 80 in June, and so I'm like, Grandma, you need to, if you shop, first off, Nin and my mom have been shopping for her. They've been doing grocery delivery or grocery pickup or whatever. I told her, I said, Grandma, if you're gonna she wanted to go to Sam's. Sam's has where you give them, I think it's like Tuesdays 7 to 9, I think is what she told me. You give them your list. It's only for seniors. Actually, I take that back. I don't think it's just for seniors. I think it's for immunocompromised. I think Walmart has seniors. Anyway, I think it's for her age group, 65 and older or something like that. If you give them your list, they'll shop for you. Or I said, you know, Grandma, we can set you up. I can do a Sam's grocery pickup for you. And so she was like, but I can't go into Costco. So would you mind getting me some stuff? So she gave me a little list. I said, of course, I'll pick up whatever. I told her, I was like, I'll call you before I actually end up going in case you need to add anything. She was like, oh, okay, that'll be good. She's so cute. So anyway, back to what I was saying. You know, there's so many rights and wrongs that you can do during this whole thing. There's stuff that I'm sure we've done that people don't agree with, or, you know, vice versa, whatever. Texas, where it doesn't matter where you live. In Texas, where everything's opened up pretty much. The only thing that really hasn't opened has been gyms, bars, maybe a couple of other places, but the rest of the city's open, 25% capacity. Restaurants are open, salons are open by appointment, nails, pedis, hair, like everything's open. And so it's more just, and tomorrow everything opens up, like everything, and gyms are, everything's opening up tomorrow, where the city is officially off of an at-home protocol. Like, we are no longer under quarantine. So at this point, it's just more about what you're comfortable doing. And I'm still not comfortable with the girls going into the store with us. I'm not going to be comfortable for a little while. I'm not taking them anywhere. We're still not going to be hanging out with friends, especially if they've been hanging out with friends and stuff like that. That's not, I don't even know why I stood up. I got right back on the couch. I'm having trouble catching my breath because I can't breathe out of my nose. Those are just things that I'm not comfortable with. You know, we'll reevaluate in another month and see how things are going and kind of go from there. Playgrounds, everything's opening up. So, you know, it's like I told Nin, and Nin made a good point. She's like, nothing's going to change in each of our households between today, tomorrow, next week. Like, nothing's going to change. We're all still self-quarantining ourselves, and so why can't they hang out in the backyard? I'm like, you're right. So I felt comfortable leaving them there, knowing that she had her mask on, they had masks when they were around, like not outside, because when they're outside I didn't make them wear a mask because they're all with each other all the time, and only if they like have to go to the bathroom inside her house, that type of stuff. So I think at this point it's just more about what you're comfortable with. It's crazy because I do think that it's not going to go away. You know, opening up, our Texas overall numbers, the cases of the coronavirus have increased, but we can't stay on lockdown forever. You know, it's just really, it's not sustainable long term. I do think that things could have stayed shut down for a while longer, and I think we would have brought that curve down a little bit more if they hadn't started, which is it's strange to me because Texas is such a conservative state. I'm really surprised that Texas as a whole is like cool with all of this. I feel like people in Texas are just like, oh, screw it, we're going to the store, we're going to the restaurant, we're going to the beach, we're going here, we're going there, especially in large areas. So I'm really surprised, and some of the more liberal states are staying on lockdown. So I'm really shocked, but it is what it is, you know. I mean, we have to do what we feel is safe and best for our family, and I felt safe leaving them over there for a few hours outside in masks. I know Nin's been quarantining herself, we've been quarantining ourselves, so I don't feel quite comfortable with them doing anything else just yet. Like, we're not going to be doing Girl Scouts, we're not going to be doing camps. Unfortunately, Emmy's camp got canceled. I'm really sad for her because this was the year I was going to let her spend the night, and it got canceled. They turned it into a virtual camp. I cannot breathe sitting down. They turned it into a virtual camp, and it's not going to be the same. I feel really bad for her, but again, you know, it is what it is. And it's crazy. Actually, their school sent out an email for, I don't know why my face always looks so shiny. I washed it this morning. I think it's my moisturizer. So they sent out a survey asking, you know, pretty much like, if everyone's going to come back to school in August, how do you feel? How could we make things safer for the kids? How could we do this? How could we do that? You know, if we have to do remote learning, which that'll be a nightmare. I'll do it. We'll get through it, but I do not want to be their teacher anymore. But if I have to, I will. And so, like, what, you know, what'll happen? Oh my gosh, man, what the heck? All of a sudden, they're like, if we have to remote learn, you know, what could make it easier on you? And so I just typed up a whole bunch of stuff as to ways I think that it could be safer. And I put my honest opinion. You know, if the coronavirus is still a huge, huge threat at that point, I don't know that I'll send them back to school in August. I may just homeschool them, you know, indefinitely at that point. And that's definitely not what I want. I want them to have social interaction. I worry about their mental health. It's a huge, huge thing. And so I don't want that, but if we have to come to it, we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. So yeah, anyway, today was a tough decision for me, but I had already agreed with my mom that they could have a slumber party with her next weekend. It's nice for them to have a change of environment and for us to get a break. You know, I've enjoyed being and spending time with them, but I also know that we all need our alone time. We all need time with other people. They love our family. They want to spend time with them too, and it's been really difficult for all of us not to have been able to be around them. So I can't breathe. So today was a nice little change that I'm excited about, and I know it warms Nin's heart too. It makes her feel good that, you know, she gets to share all these projects that she's been working so hard with them. She adores having them over, and it it meant a lot to be able to just have a couple of hours to just sit here and do nothing and not hear mommy, not hear screaming, Sissy did this, Maddie did this, Autumn did this. It's just such a nice little relief for them, for me to know they're in good hands, they're somewhere safe, and I can just lay here. Although I wish I wasn't feeling like this. I think I would have more energy to want to do stuff, but I don't. And so I'm just gonna sit here and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Hi, my pretty girl. Hi. You ready to go get your sisters? Are you? Yes, yes I am. I cannot believe she is, oh my gosh, almost 5.5 months, you guys. 5.5 months, like where I feel like we've been in quarantine for 6 years and she's 5.5 months. What happened? Huh? What happened? I just bumped her up to size 2 diapers too a couple days ago, which I feel like her sisters were well into size 2 by this age, but that's okay. So crazy. It's like so sad. I'm gonna go get the girls. It's been a nice few hours. Right. Huh. So you slept. Mommy watched Dead to Me. That says the F word too many times, so I can't watch that around the girls. And your little patitas. Your little patitas, Mommy. Are you little patitas? Hi. 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 Are you ready to go? So we're home. I'm feeding Everly. The girls had so much fun. So much fun.
I'm playing the sandbox.
Yeah. What else did you play?
iPad and electronics.
Electronics.
And iPad.
Mm-hmm. They had a really good time. Nin had fun. Could tell it lifted her spirits a lot too. It was good. She showed them all the fun things. They helped her outside. What did y'all build with Nin?
We helped her build
another part of the monkey bars. I helped digging the hole deeper. I tried not to make it.
She let y'all help with the concrete?
Yes.
Let Maddie help with the spraying. I helped a little bit with making it deeper.
Wow, super cool.
And
She said they were in the sandbox for like an hour and a half.
yeah.
Stop with the squishy.
And Nin bought the same concrete that Daddy bought, and she said it only took 4 hours to dry.
Wow.
Except
So
for
yeah,
the
she
day.
had him put a 4x4 pole to continue building her swing set. She's so imaginative and creative. So now we're home. And it feels really good to be done with the masks for today because they're super stuffy. Oh my gosh. And now this one's having a bottle.
Do you want to say anything, Everly?
Oh, this bottle's so good. Yeah, and Nin's building her little swing set too. It's super cute.
We forgot to get her swing back to us.
No, that's
gonna
her
be at
swing.
Nin's house.
She has the same one we do.
She does?
Anyway, today was a nice day.
It's at
Feels good to be a little bit back to kind of normal, I guess. Feels a little strange to still be at your family's house in a mask, but everyone had a really good time, so. It was a good day, huh?
Uh-huh. A really fun and good day.
Yeah, y'all had fun?
Uh-huh.
Can I help you? For whatever, well, I say for whatever reason. No, she likes being up there because she likes to she bats the cords to like draw the blinds and stuff. Cats are so funny, oh my gosh. And I'm realizing dogs are funny too, but not in the same way cats are. It's totally different. So anyway, it's several hours later and the girls are in bed. It was a nice night. They usually, whenever they're at my mom or Nin's house, they come back wired because my mom and Nin are very good at giving them whatever they want. Within reason. I mean, Nin, sorry Nin, you know it's true because I know she's watching. She gives in a lot more than my mom does. My mom gives in a lot, but my mom will pull the reins a little bit. No, not Nin. She's like, they're only here for a little while. I give them whatever they want. So I always have to, I'm always like you better be appreciative because Nin buys all these things for you. I mean, Nin's like busting her butt in her backyard, getting all these stuff, not for her, for the kids. I mean, you know, she's like so excited. She was so excited and thrilled to have them there today. And she kept her mask on the entire time. Like, it really worked out quite well. And it was a nice little break for me just to spend some time with Everly too, you know. I mean, she napped for a little while, and then she's been pretty fussy lately. She's teething really bad. And so if you have any great teething toys that she's not, see, she likes batting at it. She's messing with the string. If you have any great recommendations for teething toys, let me know in the comments below or message me on Instagram, because we have one thing that we had, I think, honestly, I feel like it was with Autumn, but maybe with Maddie. I don't know. It's so hard for me to remember. I know we had a Sophie the giraffe with one of them, and whichever one we had it with, they didn't love it. Everly has a hard, she's getting better, but she has a hard time holding round things and pulling them up to her mouth. So teething, like the freezer teething rings, don't work that well. She pulls her passy in and out of her mouth, but if it's not perfectly, like, she'll grab it in her hand, and if it's not perfectly in to where she can get the nipple back in her mouth, she throws a fit. Like, she screams, and she's kind of at the point now too where I can tell she really wants to like grab at stuff more. She wants to roll around more and move, and she can't, and so she gets frustrated and she screams unless she's being held. And even then, if you're holding her and she doesn't want to be held, she becomes a wiggle worm and wants to get down. So and she's constantly with her hand in her mouth. She puts pretty much whatever is in her hand in her mouth. So I really need recommendation for teething toys. In her stocking for Christmas, of course, she was like super tiny, wasn't even a month old at Christmas, only 3 weeks actually. In her stocking, we got her this little mini giraffe. It's about this big, and it looks like Sophie. It's pink and it's rubber, but it's about this big, and then a ring that's rubber, so she can hold on to both of those. But again, if it's not lined up in her hands perfectly, she's not really able to get it from down here. Like, if she drops it from down here up to here, it's like her hand-eye coordination isn't quite there yet. So she just needs to get those, you know, motor skills down better, and I'm fine with her waiting. But in the meantime, she's having a really hard time with her teeth, and she screams a lot because of that. Some of the screaming is like finding her voice and talking. Some of the screaming is because she's frustrated, because I can see her. She's doing that like swimming, like she's on her belly and she's like swimming, trying to get to where she needs to go, and she's not moving. And she can roll from her back to her stomach. She's been able to do that for several weeks now, and she was able to get from her stomach to her back several times before. But now she's having a hard time. And I remember one of the other girls going through this as well. I want to say it was Maddie. One of them, it was the same thing. Once they figured out how to get from their back to their belly, they know how to roll from their bellies to their backs, because that's how she started. That's how most babies start. They start in tummy time and then they flip and they're like, oh my gosh, what happened? But coming from their back to their belly is harder to master. So once she mastered that, it's like she can't figure out how to get back over. So then she gets frustrated because she's like, I'm stuck. What the heck? I can't get back over to where I need to be. And so that's kind of where she's at. So I need to get her something that she can kind of hold on to. She loves like her rattle. She'll do this all day long with the rattle, but she tries to put the rattle in her mouth, and the rattle's like hard plastic. She can't really gum it. And she has, let me see, what else do we have? The keys, the teething keys that you can like pop in the freezer. Same thing, same idea. They're kind of oddly shaped to where they're not really made for a 5-month-old. So I've been seeing, and it's probably because I'm saying like teething out loud, but my Facebook, who is listening, I know it's listening, has been showing me this like teething rod. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like a bunch of swirls on a, I my first impression of it was like, oh my god, that's a choking hazard or something, because if they happen to have it in their mouth and they like shove it back too far or something, like I wouldn't want her to hurt herself. I can't tell what the material is. So if you have any recommendations for great teething toys that your babies absolutely loved, or maybe you have a 4 or 5 month old and you just have a teething toy that's amazing, let me know in the comments below, or message me on Instagram, because I'm struggling with the teething right now. And she's not going to get evaluated. I think her appointment is sometime this next week, Friday maybe, Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning she has an appointment for her evaluation. And actually, from the time, it just took so long to get her PT appointment, that, or evaluation for PT, that she's actually gotten a lot better with her head. I'm still going to get her evaluated because I still feel like her neck muscle is weak and she could use some therapy. I just don't know if she needs it enough that she'll qualify for services, which is fine. I don't want to take the services away from a child who actually needs it, but it never hurts to get them evaluated, because when I first got her evaluated at when I first got the appointment at 4 months, it just happened to take 6 weeks to actually get the appointment, and she's caught up a little bit, but she's still a little behind. Like, she's able to move her neck, and when she's sitting, she's able to kind of like keep it bobbling a little bit. But the thing that I've noticed is when you pick her up, her body's a lot more solid since we've been feeding her more. Poor kid. I feel like I was starving her, but we've been feeding her more and she's packed on the weight really fast. So she's chunking up a little bit, but I feel like her neck is kind of like this still, just a touch. Not as much as it was, but just a touch. And then when she picks it up, you can tell she's like a little bobbly, trying to keep it balanced. So we're getting there, but she may need some help. So we'll find out Friday if she qualifies. If she doesn't, like I said, we'll just keep working with her. She doesn't really lean to the left anymore. She scrunches to the left a little bit, but her head doesn't lean to the left as much like that. It's just more of the like extension of it. She's got the flexion part down, but the extension of the neck muscle is just a little bit more difficult for her. So anywho, how was I talking about that? Teething toys. I need help. Oh, about baby food. So we haven't started anything, which is kind of new. We didn't start vegetables with the girls until they were almost 6 months, but we were doing rice cereal already at this time. And it's not like it does anything for them, but we haven't done anything for her. And it's so funny because the last probably like 5 days to a week, whenever we hold her, Lola's litter box, whenever we hold her, she almost like, for instance, I was holding her while I was eating lunch the other day, and she's like that. If you're holding her on your lap and I bring food up to my mouth, she like tries to go, not completely like throws herself at it, but she like follows it as if you're gonna give it to her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this baby-led weaning? I haven't even looked into it because my mind wasn't in that mindset to start to feed her solids yet, because I want to get her to be able to stabilize her body before we even think about solids, really. And it's not going to hurt her to not have solids until 6 months plus. Plenty of babies don't have solids until 6 months plus. Some pediatricians are, you know, conservative and want their parents to wait. So I'm not worried about that in any aspect at all, but I didn't do any research on baby-led weaning because, like I said, I just wasn't in that mindset. So I thought that that was funny that she was like, you're gonna feed me? What? So hear it. That thing's totally worth the investment. Oh my gosh, she's in it. That's why it sounds like it's struggling. Lola! Lola! Lotita! Hey! Oh my gosh. Do you hear? It was struggling with you in it. No. Oh, Lord. She's such a curious cat. It's so funny. Nin's getting some kittens. I'll have to show on this weekend maybe. She was showing me the stuff today that she got for them. She got them like a huge cat tree. She's got litter boxes all over the house that she hasn't set any of this stuff up yet. She was just showing it to me, but she's already got some food for them and water bowls and all kinds of stuff. She wants to get 2 female cats, so she should be getting those soon. I thought that that was pretty cool. I'm uploading the vlog from yesterday, so as you guys know and you could see, I didn't vlog too much on Friday. I just took like a mental break. The Friday was kind of frustrating, not like it just was technologically frustrating. I had a really hard time getting their stuff uploaded like I was supposed to. Emmy's specials homework I couldn't get to where it needed to be, and I was emailing back and forth and then not even realizing that the emails were going from my Gmail account, so I kept like emailing more of the teachers. It just was a mess. So I finally got it figured out, but it was like in the evening because I had to, early evening because I had to take a break because I was like, okay, this is done. I'm like, this is ridiculous that I'm getting frustrated over something so simple. I just need to step away and take a breather and come back. So I did, and ended up being a great evening, but I didn't vlog because of that, because I find when I'm in a bad mood or frustrated or whatever, it translates into the camera, and I don't like that. It's just not good. No one needs that kind of energy. You know, I try and bring happiness and positivity. It doesn't always happen, but I try. And then Saturday, what the bulk of the vlog is, was a really great day. We spent all of it like pretty much outside. It was really nice. It was decent weather and we got a lot of stuff done, which is cool. And then in the evening, Andres and I watched Star Wars. I didn't even realize I didn't film the rest of the night, but I didn't. And so we watched the new Star Wars movie. It just came out on Disney Plus. Honestly, I don't remember what it is. It's so the 3 newest ones that I've seen. We started going back and watching the first one, but I have a really hard time doing the old school Star Wars. I like the new ones, but I have a hard time with the old ones. So I started with The Force Awakens, which I believe is number 7, and then The Last Jedi, which is 8, I'm pretty sure, and then whatever this one is, number 9. It's I honestly don't know. I'd have to look it up, but it was decent. It wasn't awful. I had heard kind of mixed reviews about it, and I'm not like a huge avid Star Wars fan, so because I don't know that much about it, I thought it was a decent movie. But there's some people that are Star Wars fans that were like up in roars about things that happened in it, and I don't really know what those things are. To me, it was a decent movie, so I don't know. Anyway, my Handy Bunny should be home any minute. I am processing the vlog right now. I'm very excited that I get to chill the rest of the night. Tomorrow we are back to schoolwork, which kind of stinks, but it's a review week, which is nice, and they have it broken down by subjects. So each day we have a different subject: math, reading, writing, spelling, science, history, or in one. So that's going to be nice, because what I plan on doing tomorrow is printing out the whole packet, because we don't go pick them up. I'm pretty sure I didn't get an email saying that we could pick them up. So I'm printing out the entire packet, and we're going to do as much of it as we can tomorrow so that we don't have a whole lot to do the rest of the week. And that's what I'm going to do, is just have them. There are videos, thank the heavens above, videos attached to these review packets, and I'm hoping that it is helpful enough that we barely have to do schoolwork, because we still have this week and next week is our last week, and I'm seeing like half of people that I follow on social media, like their kids are already done, and I'm so jelly, because that would be awesome. I feel like it would make, if we didn't have to do Zoom calls, we didn't have to get up and have things turned in by a certain time, it just would be so much better than what we're doing right now. On that note, I got an email from the girls' school. They plan on opening school in August. Not just the girls' school, all the schools. They're having everyone re-register, all the things. So we re-enrolled, we did our registration. I already have I went through their uniforms to see exactly what they both need for this next year. You know, I'm doing the whole thing as if they're going back to school in August. They did send out a parent email though, which is kind of daunting, asking pretty much like, if they do come back to school, what are ways that you would feel comfortable sending them back to school. And if you plan on sending them back to school, my thing is about to run out. It only lets me film for 16 minutes at a time. That's telling me I've been on here too long, but I already started this, so let me finish. If anything would prevent them from coming back, how you would feel safe if they did come back, and if we had to do remote learning, what would make it better. So my suggestions, just in case your teachers or school happen to ask you, these are some suggestions that I had. I personally think it would be maybe not ideal, and this probably wouldn't be plausible for everyone, but if the difference is sending them to school with stipulations versus keeping them at home and I'm their primary teacher, I'm going to send them to school with stipulations. I may be alone in that, and that's totally fine. Our opinions can differ. I personally am not a great teacher. I don't have the patience to be a teacher. I've always had a huge appreciation for teachers. Never have I undoubtedly thought that their job is 10 times harder than anybody else's job. I always have felt that way. But I'm not a teacher, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to keep doing it. I like spending the extra time with the girls when, you know, everything's like cohesive and hunky-dory, but I don't want to compromise our relationship by getting frustrated with schoolwork. You know, I don't want our relationship to be schoolwork day in and day out and frustration because of it. Homework is different than schoolwork and me having to teach them something, and I'm just not cut out for it. Clearly I am, because I've done it for 2 months and here we are. But have they learned anything? Probably not, because anything new that they've had to learn, my motto is, this is how you're learning it. This is how I learned it. If it doesn't stick with you, it doesn't stick with you. Hopefully the teacher can figure out how to reteach it to you next year, because I don't know what to tell you. I get a lot of, well, we didn't do it like this in class. Well, my teacher didn't teach us like that. You know what? Mommy's your teacher now, and mommy's teaching it like this, and that's it. And that's not a great way. You know, it's just not a great way. I would rather have a great relationship with my girls and not have to teach them anything but basic life skills than have them at home 24/7 and have frustration or attitudes looming constantly. Like, I just don't want that. So anyway, my suggestions for a safe environment are scheduled hand washing. Of course, the, you know, basic having access to sanitizer and soap and things like that. But in addition to those things, were to have scheduled hand washing breaks. Like, Emmy's going to be in 5th grade. Even in 4th grade, they did not have scheduled bathroom breaks. They went to the bathroom when they needed to. They're big kids. In kinder, they have scheduled bathroom breaks because kindergarten bladders don't hold all day long, you know. So they would have scheduled bathroom breaks. I think they should have scheduled hand washing breaks. Make sure everybody washes their hands, period, whether you go to the bathroom or not. And this would all be aside from sending your kid to school in a mask, because relying on a child to wear a mask all day is really, it's not gonna happen. I have the girls wear masks when they go into, like when the girls had to go potty at Nin's house, they wore a mask to go into her house. When they're outside and they're away from everybody, they take them off because they're hot, they can't breathe, they don't know how to do it, so the adults wear masks, you know? I mean, it is what it is. I think that the teachers should be wearing masks, all the staff. If this is still an issue, clearly, and I told them in the email, I said, if the coronavirus is still a huge issue, honestly, they probably won't even go back to school. Like, the school systems wouldn't reopen, but I would consider homeschooling them and be done with it, because I of course don't want to put them in danger. We stayed away from our family for 2 months because I didn't want to put anybody in danger, you know? And now it's just, we're all quarantined, we've all taken care of ourselves. Now it's time to start integrating a little bit of real life back into it. And so school is going to be one of those things. So if we get to go, scheduled hand washing, I even said, you know, temp checks every day, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but there are a ton of people that send their kids to school sick. Maybe they have a low grade fever or a little bit of a stuffy nose, And then they get to school and all of a sudden the fever shoots up, and now they're not feeling well. They go to the nurse and then the nurse calls. And I know that because I volunteered at my girls' school and I saw it multiple times throughout the day. And, or I mean, not even just to say that the child doesn't start a fever at school, but I think every kid should be temp checked and, you know, all kinds of symptom checked when they walk in. And I think that they should try and spread their desks out. They sit right on top of each other. Spread their desks out. Instead of going to the cafeteria for lunch, have them eat in their classroom with the kids that are in their classroom. And if their desks are spread away apart from each other, they shouldn't have an issue. Again, I don't know that these things are plausible, but that is an option, you know? And the next thing would to be to not have a playground where the kids are touching stuff. Just let them go run outside, or not have recess at all. And another option that I put was having like alternating days or half days worth of school. If you really look at it and you cut out PE, art, music, you cut out extra breaks, like my girls have snack breaks too, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. You cut out those extra things, they could have a half day of school and they could learn everything that they need to learn in school. The work that they're sending home for us, they're anticipating them doing it in an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. It happens longer than that because of us trying to teach it versus them learning it in school. But if they just go to school to learn and don't have any of that extracurricular stuff, which is not ideal. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. It's not ideal. They need those things to be well-rounded individuals. But for the time being, they could get through school. I could send my kid the first part of the day. You send your kid the second half of the day. The teacher has a job. Both of our kids are learning. They sanitize everything in between. It's an option, you know, maybe not a great one, but it's an option. Alternating days. My kid goes Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. Yours goes Tuesday, Thursday. Next week, mine goes Tuesday, Thursday. Yours goes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Another option. They sanitize in between. You know, so I just gave a little bit of 2 cents there. Not saying that it would work at all. Not saying that they're going to take any of my ideas, but I had to voice them. And also, I did say, I was like, I'll start them in July. If this whole thing goes away, all of a sudden, you can have them in July. I'm fine with that. But if it's still an issue, they probably won't go back. And then the remote learning, I did say I thought that the videos, the Zoom videos are great, and then the Google Classroom videos where the teacher's teaching them how they learn it in school is so much better than me trying to read the directions and figure out how to do it. So my suggestions, I'm curious if you guys have heard anything about your school districts in your area, or have you talked to your, you know, your teachers or your administration or anything like that. Are they planning on opening up? I know some, like Texas is opening tomorrow. Most of Texas is already opened. It's crazy. But some states are still so closed. So I'm curious how they're going to do it. Anyway, I've been talking for literally 25 minutes about this, just this. So my vlog's already uploaded. I'm going to get it, or it's already processed. I'm going to get it uploaded and call it a night. I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. We'll talk more about this another day, and we'll see you tomorrow.